at this point. We're really kind of looking for, as soon as this supply ship, the truck supply, loads up, this is going to be back to nothing again. So we really need to think about that. So we're going to send you back. And there's nothing there for you because we emptied it out last time. So we're at that waiting for, we're behind, and it's because we took Saipan and Guam, and you know we've left Guam at a position that we like. Probably too much fuel there, but Saipan is way heavy on troops. So what do we want to do about that? We scroll around and we look. Are we going to make this a higher level airfield? Probably not. We may. It wouldn't take much to do it. But we're really behind the curve on supplies at this time. So if we go to truck, there's where all of our supplies are. So what we need to do is we need to fix Saipan. And by doing so, we're going to move some supplies. So let's do that. So we're going to unload everything off of this ship, off this group, I should say. And let's go straight supplies. And I hit troops. Let's do this. And it's going to imbalance this group as well. But we need to get on track before we get out of balance too far on Saipan. So let's do that. And we don't need to keep these here, so we're gonna move everything we can. And we're sending you here. And why are we sending him here is because this is gonna be the kickoff point to Iwo and Okinawa. These two are important areas that we need to take. Yes. So let's send you over. Okay, and we just have a defense force here, right? Yeah. Warrington is going home, and we could do that. You know, we said we're gonna keep them, didn't we? These guys are all wounded. We're sending them back to Midway. Those are our injured soldiers, Marines. Sending them back. So the next place we're invading is Peleliu here, and we have supply here, invasion force. We want to make these even. I don't like having an end result of taking a place like Saipan and being so imbalanced like this, because what's going to happen is these 11,000 troops are going to suck all these supplies really quick. And that's not where we want to be. We need to get this down below 2,000 or bring this up to 1,300 supplies, which is the goals we need to do. So how else can we fix that? Cosray, you're going up with your troops I just gave you. Truck, your defense force, you're not going anywhere. You say, well, we're bringing all the supplies up here. We're going to just imbalance this. Well, that's true, but we have some groups over here, and what are you guys doing? Okay, let's think of what we want to do at Pompeii. So we're going to manage cargo. And these are going to Peleliu. We're going over here. You say, well, why don't you stick to your plan and go over here? Well, that'll happen over time. We'll probably start sending these guys, instead of going to truck, we're going to send them to Saipan with supplies. We can't really do that at the moment. So if I go manage cargo here, there's not enough to make that run at this moment, so we're going to wait. You guys are going to sit there and behave. And let's get these horn guys settled. So, manage cargo. again, this is an invasion group. So invasion groups, we need to have more supplies than troops, but even. So the first group that's here, skipped around a little, aren't I? Calving is now, you are the, if it has engineering and fuel, they are this first group. So you have fuel and you have engineering. So again, we're looking for level 1 airfields when we take these places. Guam, for example, level 1 airfield. They have more than enough there, but that's what we're going to do. If we get more engineering over here, we may go up to level 2 for command point boost. Saipan, same thing. If we get more engineering over here and a little bit of fuel, we'll be able to click this and go up to level 3. You know, maybe that's what we want to do. For example, we got these liberators here, which the best thing about them is this here. But what we can do with them is we can send them on scouting missions. Other games may do things differently, but you know, what do we want to put on them? We put them on, we put nothing on them, and they can go for 1620 like a B-17, and we're in a better position to use that mileage. So let's just send these guys out to do a run. $16, $17 is good enough. We'll have them scope this forever and a day. And they will just do this scouting run. I don't expect to see much, but if we do see something, we have a better chance if we have airplanes out there. We got to be aware of these Kingfishers here. I really don't want them. We're in a dangerous part of the game right now. I'm going to change your position to go this way. You can only go 502. Close enough. Just send you out there and do that. So yeah, I think I talked enough. Let's go back to here. So Horn, you need to support this invasion with another group of even supplies to troops ratio. You guys must be getting sick of hearing me say that every video, but okay, so you see less troops, more supplies on these C3s. So if we go troops, supplies, troops, supplies, and because we're going to go supplies, we don't really need to bring more fuel, so they're just going to go along for the ride. And because we did a whole nother group of supplies, 1640, we're going to just do a little bit of this extra stuff. Okay, so these 3 ships with 150 to 100 extra troops, you know, is what, 450, 500 troops on top of, compared to the 16. Again, this guy took, the last ship took 1640, so we took maybe 600 troops. What? Let's count it up. Let's do some math. 2, 4, 550. So 550 extra troops, getting closer to the ratio, but not exceeding troops to supplies. So let's course you over to this mark. You can be with your friend and be safe. And Peleliu Defense Force, Indiana. Let's put up one of your scouts. Do a little surveillance, as they say. And we can just do you one of these as long as 385 is less than that number. If we go up, we exceed it, so we change the slider, you're in there. Okay. Now you say, well, why are we off so far? Because these guys sending wherever the supplies are coming from here, these cargo ships that are coming through here. We haven't seen any subs in a while. Is what it is, you know. So it's just a standard I like to do. This guy needs to be in the box because it's making me uncomfortable. Yeah, that's where you want to be. So once again over here, these guys are coming in, and we have failed to put up any type of cover. So let's cover up this guy's Sarbaya launch aircraft. $15, not enough for me to be happy. Dutchy Cindy's. Let's go Bellawood. And that should be enough. It should be more than enough to take care of 2 dive bombers, maybe. But we're gonna let these guys do their thing. They're gonna come in, and we should trigger. Close enough. I'm happy with that. We're gonna go in with the F6 tactical. I just don't want them to be on top of us. You know, these guys have a tendency to get through. And I don't think they like what they see. Is this us here? Here? Yeah, there's one of us. But look at this coming in. And these are escort carriers. In the background I have on the Olympics prime time. And I'm watching the women's steeplechase is on the TV. Pretty interesting. Those sports that we don't see very often is why I like the Olympics. I don't know any of the athletes, and that's fine, but I like to see these old activities or sports that I just think are cool. Those guys are gone. 2 of 2, no losses. That's the way I like it. And no comments on the delay. Probably still there, but yeah, let me know. Always keep me informed. If I know it's still there and not a fluke that's gone. Come on now, trigger. You guys should be triggering. No, I'm not gonna wait for you. I don't want to get you to get that close. You know, they sometimes they'll spawn right over us, and I don't like that at all. It should be over here. Here we are. What do we got? And of course they come in with torpedoes. Why don't they have bombs at these bases? Oh, these guys have bombs, don't they? Yeah. So these are the more critical ones. So we're gonna follow these guys, but there should be more than enough aircraft to manage this. Those guys go down. You know, really, they should turn around and fly away. These guys are ordered to come in, and they're still... I don't like them being so close. These guys should take these guys out in one pass. That's the way I like it. Nice and quick. Yeah, and these 2 dive bombers, they're not going anywhere. Again, we lost another fighter because they don't know how to attack these guys. They fly in, they're going too fast. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose a couple more. Oh my God, look at the aircraft. So yeah, that should do it for those guys. Now, because they're 2 groups, Some of these guys are flying. I don't know, you'd think they'd all fly back to the ship area, but they're not. Now at this level, if I'm not careful, these guys will fly right into a ship. So let's take over for this guy real quick. I'll show you what I mean. I'm not going to crash him, but he's safe. That's a safer altitude. So yeah, at this range, he's not going to. But if he was like at 60, he would fly right into the side of this ship. So you kind of got to be aware. We're moving on now. Four aircraft shot down, and we did lose a fighter, though. And once again, this game will slow down as soon as enemy aircraft are in range. We're not going to see them because we're too far out. Yeah, they're not even close. They show up on the radar because we're overlapping theirs, but we're too far away. So we all know that the Hornet, the Hornet went in and bombarded Singapore and did absolutely nothing to her bases. Because they have probably 10,000 troops or more and a bunch of supplies, and when you have airfields and ship ports, it strengthens the base, so it's not going to take 2 battleships emptying 3 clicks for bombardment for these guys to be damaged. We had the same problem with truck, as you recall. I said that already yesterday, so I'm not going to say it again. But these guys have to go back rearm. We need more punch, and the punch is going to be coming from where are you? From Force Z. Now Force Z has the Renowned and the Idaho, so there's 2 big guys that can drop some bombs, and then we have this group coming in, which has another battleship. So these guys will have more kick, and we're also putting in the light carrier with them. So once they merge, we will take care of that. Send them back over to do some boom boom. All right, let's see what happens here. How close are they? You're right there, man. So there's a danger here. The danger is these guys are so close. So I want to do clicky clicky here and then clicky here, and give these guys an attack order. Attack. And we're also going to let's do this. I'm going to break everybody and have everybody increase their best speed, and we're gonna have everybody turn wildly. So everyone's gonna turn clockwise at the best speed that they possibly can. We should be at 750. I'd say we're not. I say we're at 500. But hey, whatever. Okay, let's see what happens. Everybody should be starting to turn. You turning, my friend? All you guys need to start to turn. And I don't think they're doing it because of reasons. This is going to look squirrely, and we may have some collisions and all sorts of stuff, but I want these guys to move. And of course, yeah, it didn't matter anyway. But the reason for that is I wanted to see how they turn. So the carrier turns hard. The supply ships don't turn that hard at all. Is this guy turning? Yeah, what's your speed at? You should be going faster. That's another thing I didn't adjust. So 14. In other words, we're going the speed of the slowest ship in the group. How about you? How fast are you going? You're not going fast either. So why am I still doing this in the game? It's to show that, to reinforce the fact that these ships don't always behave as you think they would. Like, if you select the #1 ship in your group, which is whoever you designated, which is for this one, it's the light carrier, and you select everybody, for example, and you give an order, you may think it goes to everybody, but it didn't. As you saw, the carrier started its turn, but nobody else really did. I had to manually go in and turn them to get them to do this wild formation. This wild turning formation, is this guy? Yeah. The wild turning formation is what helps against dive bombers. It makes it harder for them to hit. Also, high altitude bombing, it could, in theory, I know the game is the game, but in theory, turning recklessly like this makes it harder to hit. And you want everybody going as their fastest speed and turning violently, and even turning back. We can get everybody to turn back the other way. See how long it takes me to do that. Let's pause and do it this way. I hope my hitting the keyboard doesn't bother people too much. I know that that's a thing that some people have a problem with. We all know we're using a keyboard, computer, right? So it shouldn't be surprised that you may hear clicks now and again. You say, just get on with it, play the game. Well, this is part of playing the game, to be honest with you. For me, we all know I play different than other people may play this game. Make sure everybody's doing the same thing. So let's see how these change. Let's do it at a faster speed so it looks better. So everybody's doing their turns. You see how some turn faster than others. These supply ships, for example, they haven't completed their circles. The destroyers over here are already in deep turn mode. So is this guy. This guy's not really doing that. Hard turn mode. This guy turns tight. It looks. This guy turns slowly. C3s don't seem to be very maneuverable. This guy went into strictly, I don't care what I do, I'm gonna run into you. So let's take a look and see what he did. He was set up to stay in that turn. There's something about this ship being too close to his turn that made him want to crash into him. And that's part of the AI programming of the game that we don't all like, because without orders from me, the Honolulu decided to turn to the right. And by turning to the right, he crashed into this guy, and it probably would have sunk the cargo ship, definitely damaged this ship, And that's something a captain would never do. And here he is turning back into a ship that's turning into him. Yeah, so that's some of the things that why I have collisions off in this game, because if it was me, that would never happen. You know, if it was a human being captain, they would never take that abrupt turn like that. So let's get on to it and move on. So these guys are supposed to be in 3-column, right? We got three sonar screen front, so that's 3-column for me, 8, 9, 10 out front, and then everybody else is diamonds surrounding the escort carrier, and that's the way I like this formation to be in. And I also like them to be in 750, not 500. So now they'll be at a different range. So if we went into them now, see how more spread out we are? That's more like it. So they have room to maneuver, and the screen is far out front to catch submarines and what have you. So between these three destroyers, they should be able to spot any submarine that we come across. They have a range that links together. Not links, but their range is, we can go into it and look. So we're looking at active sonar versus passive sonar. So if I went like that and turned on their sonar, they would have active sonar going for 1 nautical mile. Passive would be 9. And then to hear it, we're at the proper speed to hear submarines under the water. So, thus this lesson ends. Let's move on. Again, my lessons are only me talking. They're not based on any actual solid information. Most things I talk about are far more technical than what I put into it. And, yeah, I'm not claiming to be an expert in any of them. So, moving on. Of course, this is going to be a hassle because that's the way we do things. And these guys will just come and we'll let them. Oh, yeah. Fighters coming from Brunei. Alright. Looks like you're going to be sent home. Now, these guys are bombers, slow, very hard to defend themselves. And, yeah, these Dutch guys, we're not gonna allow them to be shot down. So we're gonna look around, see if we see any ships. If we don't, we're gonna bug out and return to base. Yeah, I don't see any ships. Kind of hard to see, but yeah, let's move on. And we're gonna say, let's go home, guys. We're gonna go home. All right, back to this again. You know, they were angry because we bombarded them the other day. Let's make sure we're at our distance that we like. We are. So, at this distance, let's try this again. We want everybody to max up. Make sure we're in our 3-column. We'll even extend it. And we want everybody to we're going to try this again and see if it works. Everybody should be turning clockwise at their best speed, and I don't expect anybody to deviate from that circle pattern. And we are at a good enough distance that they should be able to not hit each other. Another reason why I go 750 and I extended it to 1,000, but I don't think that's going to go into effect. But we'll leave it at that and see what they do. If some ships decide to get that 1,000 distance from the number one ship, we'll see it because they will just immediately turn away from the number one. Okay, so let's go up here and we'll take a look. I'm pretty sure that our fighters will take care of these guys. Everybody should be turning this way. So we've got some torpedo planes coming after us. Not overly concerned about them. More concerned to watch what the ships are doing. So again, we watch. Everybody's turning clockwise. They should have increased their speed to the best speed they can. This guy doesn't seem to want to do that, so we have to cycle him to get that number to go up. Yes, yes. He doesn't seem to want to change his speed. These guys seem to be max at 12 knots. Independence is at 32. Yeah, it seems like 12 is their best speed in a turn. I can't seem to get them to... so if we put it to 12, they go slower. But if we increase it to 17, will he pass 12? So what does that tell you about the slowest speed of a group? So these C3s can only go 12 knots. They can't go 17. We have always looked at these ships and said C3, 16.5, you know, that kind of thing to find out. We did that at the beginning of the series. We looked at these ships, and I remember saying, no, I like this, or no, which one? I like this ship the best because it can go 18.4. And then because of the differential of troops, we wanted to be able to have more engineering so that we could just put engineering on a C3 and have it be enough to, you know, one ship with 117 engineering would be able to be enough with the fuel to make one airfield on a captured base. That's why we did that. Everybody seems to be avoiding each other perfectly fine in their circles. So we switched to the C3 because of the troops supply ratio and also capability of engineering over 100 so that we could immediately pop an airfield on a base that we captured. That's why we switched to these. But what does that say about having 1, 2, 3, 4 in a group? Why didn't we just stick with this guy? I wanted this guy because of its guns. Well, C3 has guns as well, but it has 3. So why would you choose not choose the C3? Well, it only goes 12 knots is a good reason. Next time we need to check speed on something, we should probably check one of these guys and see if it can actually go 18.4. Maybe it goes 15. But again, the max speed on a ship is the speed of your entire group. So you have to consider that. All right. So So those guys are down. It's getting annoying, I know. These are just fighters. I'm not overly concerned, but let's go in and get them out of our sky. So they're not like in midst diving on us. Use my scroll wheel to get close to them. I don't know any other way to do it. So, what do you think the speed of this aircraft is? So he's going 321 to the other aircraft's 176, which means it can't maneuver as easily as they can. And we start maneuvering when they maneuver, not just fly straight in like any normal pilot may do. So we go in basically out of control. And everybody's going after one aircraft, so he's going to get shot down. And then we go after the other one. You know, if this happens with like dive bombers or bombers and that kind of scenario, that's when it can get ugly and we lose ships. And I think we've done that a couple times in this game. So it's not a great threat, but it is a threat. And we're going to move on from here. And we're going to get a couple more of these. That's just the way it works. The next... Boy. Yeah, we haven't progressed very much because of all the engagements. Flying Fortress. Let me see. Please have bombs. I don't think they do, but let's begin. Take a look. No bombs. If you know, just by looking at this screen here, bomb bay door, there would be a bomb symbol here if we had any armament on. We don't. This guy, on the other hand, you know, we can't do anything about him. The only thing we can do is target him to see where he's heading. So he's going at 9 knots. It's a single ship, right? Just a single ship. And his heading is 44, 45. He's going to start turning because we're coming towards him, but we don't have anything to shoot him with. If we hit attack, what do you think happens? Not a thing. You know, he doesn't turn towards the ship. He doesn't fire his machine guns. You can't attack with him. You can only bomb with him. So we can't do anything about this guy, but he's heading, you know, in the 50s to 60s heading. So let's get out. So that is this guy. And his heading, so if we put our pin there, we use our measuring device, and we go out, he's heading, you know, like that direction. Somewhere like that is where he's going. Do we want to send out a long-range attack on him? Well, why not? Sure. Still early in the morning. Let's send out something. Let's send out some liberators and see how they do against the supply ship. So, we'll send 2 of these guys out and see what they do. What do we want to arm him with? I find that these, you'd think like scatter bombing, you know, more bombs the better. you got to understand they don't release all in one time. They release staggered, so drop, 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 drop. That spreads the bombs out in a big, long area. So you may get one hit and waste 11 bombs, or 15 bombs in this case. So I find it's probably best to just go with, something like that. Now, can we make it from here? We can. We can. So we are gonna send him to the pin. Let's go, and we're gonna send him here, and then there. And he's so slow, we should be able to catch him. Now, he may be here by then, or he may have turned, but we have a chance. So that's what we're going to do. And this guy can just continue on his seeking new worlds. Of course we have encounter in Pollen Bomb. What else would be going on over here? I'm fully aware that these aren't the funnest engagements. I apologize for that. So we have some aircraft that are damaged, as referenced by the smokes. The way you determine that is you select one of them that's smoking. No, we won't do it in this one. Doesn't tell you what. So what we do is we go to number 6, would be the first group that we sent up, and we see what ship they came from, and then land them all. And we're in a position to. We have another supply group with an escort carrier that we can send out replacements. Did you just shoot at me? How dare you? That's what you get for shooting at my aircraft. Silly goose. And that should be it for these two guys. 2 of 2. So let's see if we can swap out some of our damaged aircraft from our first flight. So these guys came off the Independence, and he's number 15. Let's look at the other group. So 645 nautical miles tells you how much they have left. If we go down here and we look at, say, this one off the Bella Wood. Okay. So which group do we think are the damaged ones? 645, we launched them, and then we launched these guys. I'm sorry. And then 645, are they both the same? Yeah, they are. We know that when we go into tactical, we have 1 in 40 whatever aircraft. We know that this is the second group that we sent up. We know that because the way they appear in this menu. So the bottom air group is the one that was sent up last when it comes to aircraft. So these guys went up first. So we are going to actually land them. And they're going to time out, so we're not going to be able to send up anything from them. But then we go to Jakarta, who has their aircraft, and we're going to launch them. And they're going to cover in replacement. But they're going to cover over Jakarta, the ship they came from. So if we go in and we look at, let's look at these guys. There probably some of these are damaged too, but we'll see how many if it looks better. So we got a few of these still damaged. I'm going to say that let's hope we chose the right group. I don't know, maybe. They could have all been damaged to some point, but you get my point, what I'm trying to make. You have to select the right group to get the damage. You have to land them to get the damage to go away. If they time out and relaunch again, they'll come right back up smoking. They may have more ammo, but they'll be damaged still. So that's the point I was trying to make there. That's not what I wanted to hit. That's what I wanted to hit. Yep. Doing our things. Doing things. So we have 25 command points at this point. Let's look at our dockyard, see what came out. I think it was a destroyer. As soon as these Force Z ships get repaired, we have to send them out again to replace in Force Z, and we'll just keep doing that. It'll be hard to keep track of. I'm not going to send the Adelaide Light out again. We're going to send out this encounter, and that's it. We have a bunch of command points coming out pretty soon. This will be, what, 65, I think? This will be 110 or 120. So we're going to have a bunch of command points coming back here in 3 days. Now we have these Liberators, which I think is our next thing to watch. And we're trying to find this single supply ship. Let's see if our pin was accurate. Inaccurate if he shows up over here. Accurate if he shows somewhere in this range. So the Independence, where we just landed those aircraft, they have just... let's switch them out again, shall we? So... So these are the damaged ones. So we're going to land them. So it leaves us one remaining. And now we're going to go back to the ship with the Independence, which said we could launch aircraft again. And we're going to send these up. Which was off of... I forgot. I think it's the... I screwed that up. They're still up. We're fine. But they came off of what? Dutch East Indies? No. They came off of Jakarta? No. 3 strikes, you're out, my friend. Surabaya. Yeah. So that last group is off of Surabaya. So you guys got to cover Surabaya. That's how you do that. Let's get really crazy with this meta and go in and see if we got any smokers in the air. See? No smokers. All of our aircraft have landed and repaired. This is the first group we sent down, and they're repaired now. But that's how you get rid of that smoky thing. You would think if they land and something's damaged, they would repair it before launching it again. That's not how it works. In real life it is, but we're playing a video game, so gotta kind of roll with the punches. Back to the Liberator. See if we can get this one. See if we can find her. How close were we? Not close at all. So she's gone to the whims of who knows where. We are going to have to use our mileage here to track her down by doing this. And we may miss her. She may head south. If she heads south over here, she's going to get spanked. If she goes to truck, she'll get spanked. We have defense groups on each one of these islands, so if she tries to land and drop off some supplies, she's toast. And that's the way we like to eat our toast, I guess. This is not going to work, and this is not going to work anymore. So now we're just searching. Kind of want to go slow here. I don't want to miss it if we find her. I didn't even look at the range. We probably don't have the range to continue this route. But we'll keep looking and see. Maybe she's heading this way and we'll spot her on her way back. So yeah, I like this game for that kind of mystery. Watch this guy pop him up right here. So we're approaching nighttime, so all aircraft must return to their bases. Some do and some don't, but yeah, looks like these are all coming in. This guy's taking forever. Yes. You're coming in with supplies, or you're yeah, this guy's picking up to then go to Peleliu. So that'll be our adventure. And here we have, we're not paying attention. Sometimes you got to pay attention here. So this is Force Z and Force Z replacement. So these three ships are going to merge with Force Z. I think they're close enough. I'm not sure if they are, but let's give it a shot. Not close enough. So you guys need to course here, right? Alright, so 4C replacements. I maybe needed to do that before I did the merge. Okay, so now we have our 4C back on spec, and we're seeing we have some damage to some of these. We are going to look at Milne Bay and say, what can we take off of here to help out? Let's course into Milne Bay a little bit here. And see what kind of cargo we can muster here. Again, it's important that we have supplies. We have, what, 9, maybe 1,100 supplies we can take from here. Let's see what we can do. So, if we unload troops, our 1,100 turns into 800. And if we go down the line and we look, we see our ratios are getting closer. We're getting the bare minimum. So we are, what, 290, 3, 4. So if we take that, we'll be under, or no, we'll be right there. Nothing, and we have 100 supplies. So that's really close, right? We got kind of close by switching over to that 400 supplies, but we need the supplies more. So that's what we're going to do, and I kind of am okay with it. So make sure everybody's got what they need, and we're going to head off to over here in Palembang. So let's do that. It doesn't like long stretches with islands and stuff in the way, so you got to get there first. All right, boys, come on. All right, so kind of the best direct route you can make is what we're looking for. Normally you wouldn't go through straits like that because it's dangerous. And so our goal here is to bombard. So we'll just beeline them in there. If we can catch it when they land here, we'll drop off the supplies that we have. Because if we get hit, we can lose some of these supplies and troops. I've never seen partials like 400 supplies turns into 300 supplies if they get hit by anti-aircraft, by dive bombers or something. But if the ship sinks, you lose that. So we got that 4C back in a more friendly manner. We're at 196 here. Let's also think about some other things. Let's be smart and put up some aircraft here. So can we do it with 15? You want to risk it? Let's risk it and see what happens with just one aircraft covering the group. You know, there's probably 2 aircraft here, so we should be able to handle it, right? You think? Right? Let's go see what happens. And again, this only represents one fleet of 10 ships. The game doesn't allow for more. I wish it did, but it doesn't. And we have 2 of these dive bombers coming in. I don't like how the pixels of this ship are black and it goes visible. It should look like these guys. You can barely see him. This guy here, I do like this ship though, I have to say. You know, it says it's got guns. Doesn't have guns. You know, the representation of this ship is not very good in the game. I believe it's the AO for the British. Yeah, this is the guy. But it's the same. This picture is the same picture as the other one. It doesn't represent this. It represents this ship, but it's obviously not the same diagram. With all these tank headers, tank caps. I think they're breathers so that they don't have. You know, a breather is basically you breathe the tank so it doesn't build up with pressure with explosive gases. So I think that's what those are for, but it could also just be filling the tanks. You know, imagine, you know, being one giant tank here with 3 caps. So maybe from here to here is one big tank. On the other side, split by a bulkhead, would be another one. I don't know. I've never even seen this ship before until the game. Pretty cool looking ship though. I like all the features they put on it. So yeah, these guys are done. They took care of those guys pretty easily. Let's move on. So we'll let those guys play that over there. And we're in a position of the game where we need to start thinking. Hornet, you're leaving, and you have some issues here. One of the issues being the Washington. Now, the Washington and North Carolina are the 2 anchors slowing down this battle group. I don't think we may not be able to do what I think we want to do, but what could we do to speed up this group here? You know, these destroyers go 37 knots. This guy's going 33. This guy's going 32. These guys probably 37. Most of these ships are all going 30, above 35 maybe, let's say. So the slowest in the groups are these battleships. Let's see if we can fix that. I hope we can. I'd like to pretend we can. I think you know what I'm gonna do for that person that made the comment. And so North Carolina, we're using both of these. The Washington is out there as well. What's the next ship in the line that we can use? South Dakota, we're using 2 of these as well, and these are much slower. The Iowa class, Okay, at 100, we could get one. We should be getting close to some more command points, I think. Let's look at the dockyard and see what the dockyard says. So in one day, the Brooklyn's coming out, and we're also getting the carrier back. But let's take a look. We know what we're doing. Right, guys? I'm not pulling your leg anymore. But we can't get two. We can get two tomorrow. We can get one today. So let's do that, just to say we did. So, Iowa class. So we have Iowa, New Jersey, Missouri, Wisconsin. No favorites, but I'm just saying Washington is one we're replacing. And North Carolina, I believe. So if we go to the Iowa class, which one of these do we want to replace? What else we got? Not until November. So we'll see these guys in Montana then November. So this guy, what's the big dealio with the Iowa class besides its speed? I would say the 16-inch guns are a pretty good factor. The 20 secondary anti-aircraft that are dual purpose, that's a big deal, which really represents a big deal. Air radar 49 nautical miles is pretty good. It's got no sub defense, but if you want to look for sub defense, you go here and you look at torpedo defense, and that has a lot to do with the belt. The belt is the side of the ship, right from maybe here to here, that covers thicker armor. This is the most sensitive areas of the ship. You have munition, magazines under each of the turrets. That's where a lot of your engine stuff is. If you take torpedoes here, you can sink the ship. So it's defended well. This is just a far superior ship than what we have currently out there. It also has scout planes. So let's not struggle anymore, and let's go take a look at her. And we can get another one with 4 more points, which will be tomorrow. But that will be for another day. But let's end this video here with taking a look at the USS Iowa in all her glory. Get some good photos of her. Maybe a screenshot, not to spoil anything, but pretty impressive. Pretty awesome. I like it. Let's get her as a drive-by. Quad Bofors. Look at all those quads. So this is a quad Bofor, basically, I think. There's another one here where you have 2. I always thought they were 4 closer together than that, and 1 gun, but apparently not. Maybe I'm talking about the wrong thing again, and I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But yeah, there's quite a number of guns. The thing with these ships is World War II version of these ships are the ones that had all these AAA mounts. And then they went through versions of update where they modded these these ships and took out all these extra guns. And I don't like those versions of the ships. I like these World War II versions where they have all these crazy 50 cal mounts and anti-aircraft guns and just plethora of, oh my god, on the deck. You know, if you look, there's guns everywhere, man. Let's go through one side again and take a quick look. So, 1, 2. These are 50 cals. I think there's 20 or 40 mil Bofors. You know, we just got guns all over the place back here. Depth charges. Oh, these are swing outs for, these right here are swing outs for the seaplanes. They swing out to the side, and this is a catapult launcher, so they go from here to here. This thing stops. I think that's how it works. I'm pretty sure. I'm not exactly sure, but maybe it goes this way, so it's this back end swings this way. I know they don't go right over those gun mounts. I know it swings, that's why it's on a pivot. It also swings out, I think, to hoist them. Or maybe that's what this is for. This crane is used to bring the seaplanes back on the ship. That's what that is. Pretty awesome ship. Love it. But that's going to join our carrier battle group. You say, well, why don't we put them with you know, the Force Z? Well, that's because they were never in Force Z and they shouldn't be. So we're going to see more of this girl later. With that, we're going to end this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't get too sick of my talking and rambling, but that's why we like this game, right? Because I like to ramble. So we'll send her off into the sunset like this as we go, and I'll just say thanks for watching, and I hope you come back and watch again and enjoy. And yeah, I'm not perfect. I'm not great at this game, and I just like to talk about it, and I think it's fun. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.